Hi, Middletown. I'm Jim Palenick, City Manager, and we've been coming to you these last number of weeks with updates from the City Manager, and we've got a little bit of a twist this week. We actually have a special guest with us, and we hope to be doing this again in the future with quite a number of local folks who represent community agencies. And today my special guest is Karin Maney, and Karin is the Executive Director of the Community Building Institute, or CBI. And I think the community probably knows CBI best is the fact that they've been operating and managing the Sunny Hill Community Center for years and doing a really magnificent job at it. But if you would, Karin, could you take a little bit of time and really tell us more about what is CBI, what do you do, and then there's also some exciting things you're going to be getting into more in the future, and then tell us about that as well, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you. First, thanks for having me today.
Absolutely.
So Community Building Institute has been around for about 10 years. In Middletown, and we're a nonprofit really focused on helping to transform Middletown one student, one family, one neighborhood at a time. And we really do that through helping people move from poverty into self-sufficiency. Mm-hmm. So we do that through a cradle to career continuum of programming that starts with infant mortality, helping families or helping moms to have healthy babies, all the way from early education initiatives. Probably most people know us by the Parent Resource Center. Mm-hmm. We have after-school programs, and then our newest initiative, which is really our most exciting, I think, because it rounds out being able to really fully accomplish that mission, which is the Community Staffing Solutions. And it's our workforce development program that is a temporary staffing agency, but it's with a twist.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about that.
So we're actually an alternative staffing agency, and what that means is that we do competitive staffing services from temp to perm to permanent placements with businesses locally, but we really focus on those folks that have barriers to employment or really are just have not been able to sustain long-term employment, so we really help them by providing them a coach, not only before, but during and after their employment, with the goal of helping them to get into a temporary placement, but then be brought on permanently after 3 months.
What kind of barriers do you often see that come into play?
So a lot of those barriers are really focused on child care or potential transportation, loss of transportation. Some are mental and substance abuse issues. Some are just that they haven't been in the workforce for so long and don't really know or have the life skills to really get up and get ready for work and know what that looks like on a day-to-day basis. So there's just some life skill development that we do with our folks.
Okay. Is there some additional training that you connect them with as well in some cases?
We do. We're part of a collaborative with Butler County Jobs and Family Services and several other wonderful organizations like SELF, supports to encourage low-income families, Omnicom Solution, CDC. And so with those folks in that collaborative, it's called Employment Success Program. We have the ability to do client service coordination, and we can refer them to either workforce development training, like with SELF, or with Omnicom, or for substance abuse or mental health issues. With CDC and other agencies like Access Counseling here in Middletown.
Gotcha. So on either side of this, first of all, if I'm someone who feels like I'm one of those folks that have barriers and need your help, what do I do? And then number two, if I'm an employer and I'm looking to hire one of those folks, what do I do? If you kind of go through each of those.
Sounds good. So on our website, it's www.cbimiddletown.org. There is a Community Staffing Solutions button that they can click on that gives a button to choose if you're an employer or if you're a individual wanting help. So what happens when that individual pushes that button, it can allow them to set up an appointment with a success coach immediately. And that can be done virtually or it can be done in person at the center. Once that happens, then we can do what's called an employment success interview to help them identify really not just those barriers, but we really want to pull on their strengths because everybody has strengths and everybody has those talents that we really want to pull on, and sometimes they don't even know what those are. So classes like at Omnicom or SELF are really useful to help those folks to understand what they're good at just naturally,
Sure.
or what their interests or passions are.
Yeah. And I know I've heard from a lot of employers in the community, it's really tough to find people really to work in many cases. So if I'm an employer out there, should I be contacting you as well?
Absolutely. We've got 4 contracts currently. So we work with MPW out at AK Steel, Crane Consumables. We're working with Walthers. We've got several other contracts out, one with Klosterman's up in Springboro. But we are excited to work with them because they are catching the vision with regard to what we can offer them. So we may not be as quick to place people, but we're there to help support those individuals to be successful and maybe head off any barriers or, challenges or issues they may face with that employer. Plus, we carry a lot of that risk on the front end. Okay. So we do the background screening, we do the drug testing, we do all of that for them on the front end. But the key to us, we may be the same rate, the billing rate, as a lot of staffing services, but we don't charge any kind of conversion fee or any kind of buyout.
Oh, okay.
And what that means is that if somebody comes on and they like them in a month, hire them.
Excellent. Great.
And because we don't have a buyout, then they can transition that person onto their staff without having to go through us anymore. Because what I tell the businesses is we're not out to make a profit. We're out to have a sustainable long-term program.
There you go.
And so the businesses that we've talked with have really caught that vision.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Another question, if I'm just a member of the community and maybe I'm watching this or I've heard about you and I say, gosh, that's a great program, I really want to support it. What can those folks do? Is there something they can do to help you in this program? Or?
Absolutely. We are, quite frankly, getting inundated with a lot of individuals who do want help. So currently on our caseload, we have 1 success coach and we have about 35 people.
Oh, wow.
But we have another 40 that are in the holding pattern that we're waiting to see if they really are interested in going into employment or just needing some help with resources. But that takes a lot of manpower.
True.
So we are looking for people who have a passion to want to help folks and come in and maybe do some of those initial interviews with them and kind of help determine are they really needing some resources right away, or if they're really interested in finding a job.
Excellent.
So that's one way, or financially, that's always helpful too, because we are subsidized by grants and by some private funding, but it's never enough. We would love to be able to hire another success coach, but we're definitely in need of some financial resources to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to share with the general public just about your program or what the future looks like for CBI?
The future is really bright, I think, for Middletown and for CBI. I am hopeful that with a lot of the initiatives that are coming down, like with the Recovery Act and some other things, that the money that is filtering down really will get to the people that need the help the most.
Absolutely.
And for us, that means it puts us out of a job, which I'm really happy about.
Oh, that's true.
In the sense that people are getting what they need, and then all of Middletown is really transforming.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know I oftentimes tell people that the really good manager is working every day to make themselves obsolete.
Absolutely.
And in effect, you're doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Because if you can be completely successful, then nobody ever will need those services anymore, and then you will have done what you needed to do.
We will have been successful.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, again, just another example of one of those really great, community programs here in the city of Middletown that we're trying to showcase. So, Karin, thank you so much. And again, let the folks know how to contact you if they need to do it.
Absolutely. www.cbimiddletown.org or call 513-425-7866.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.